Vilina mea ke aloha, everyone. I am Kumu Kawika Foster, and this is Ho'oponopono Deep Dive Series with a Twist. We're moving into part 3, and we're talking about Hana, the great work. And there's a question here, and that question is, have you done the Hana? Have you done the work? It speaks to us of moving ourselves into alignment of our spirit, our minds, and our bodies, and pulling together all of the facets that we know about ourselves into alignment so that we can have a clear and direct line of communication to our ancestors, our guardians, and to the higher power. Mahalo, thank you once again for joining me, and let's get into the video. Thank you very much for joining me and joining us again here in the Hawaiian Spirituality Club in the Ho'oponopono Deep Dive Series with a Twist. This is part 3. And today we're talking about Hana, the work. And the question posed here in this discussion is, have you done the Hana? Have you done the work? And this topic is speaking to us, is sharing with us the alignment that is required in the work of Ho'oponopono, in the process of Ho'oponopono. When we speak of Hana, the work, we are talking about on all levels. We're talking about on a spiritual level, a mental level, and a physical level. In Hana, what we are doing in Ho'oponopono is removing the POHAKUs. The POHAKUs, once again, are the stones that prevent our light from shining brightly, that prevent us from having a clear and direct line of communication to our ancestors, to our guardians, and to that of the higher power or powers that we believe in. The POHAKUs are many and multifaceted. And they speak to us on a literal basis of fear, anger, hatred, sadness, jealousy. Some of the heavier stones that we can carry is such things as hate. And all of these POHAKUs, once we pick them up through our life experiences, they block the light that we're born with. So this Hana that we speak of, this work that we speak of, is the work of removing those POHAKUs, those stones from our being. Knowing that many of the POHAKUs that we carry can be very deeply buried or rooted within us on a spiritual, mental, or physical basis. So in Hana, right, in the great work that we speak of, in Ho'oponopono, once again, it's about doing what needs to be done. In the process of Ho'oponopono, it speaks to us of the need to fulfill the protocols, to offer our prayers, to utilize our prayers, to set the confines, the sacred confines of Ho'oponopono, to construct, to build the sacred confines of Ho'oponopono, in which we do the work on a spiritual, mental, and physical basis of removing those POHAKUs. The Hana also includes, in the process of Ho'oponopono, completing with a prayer. Opening with a prayer, setting the confines with the prayer, and then sealing the session of Ho'oponopono, the process of Ho'oponopono, once again with a prayer when we are done doing the work that needs to be done. And Hana, on a spiritual level, also speaks to us of the many disciplines that we practice in our daily lives to ensure that the possibility of us picking up pohakus in our futures is lessened and diminished. The Hana also speaks to us about coming to a place where we are solid, where we are firm and unshakable. So removing whatever needs to be removed to ensure that that alignment once again is free and clear, the light that we're born with is shining, and that we are establishing routines and order in our daily lives, so that the possibilities of picking up pohaku's stones in the future is lessened. Right? Hana also speaks to us on a mental level of going through all of the various layers of thinking and thought that surround the pohakus that we carry. It also means working through and the retelling of the stories surrounding our stones, and the mental clearing through our spoken word, through our ability to forgive and forget and then remember. These three layers of ho'oponopono that I just mentioned also consists of the Hana, the great work that lays before us anytime that we step into ho'oponopono. And forgiveness is taught to us and is shared with us in our culture and in our tradition and in our lineage as a requirement of also forgetting. In the component of forgetting, however, and what I need to make clear here for everyone, is that our ancestors are not asking us to pretend that the experiences in our lives never happened. But what they are requiring of us in the component of forgetting, in the cycles of forgiveness, is that we forget the hurt, the pain, the fear, the anger, the hatred that we've picked up through the experiences that we've had in our lives. And we forget the pohakus, we forget the stones, so that we can remember. And the cycle of remembering is one of the great parts of the work that is before us in the process of ho'oponopono. Remembering speaks to us of returning to a place in the entirety of our being where we know the light that we were born with, the fullness and the wholeness of our being, prior to the moment that we picked up the stone. And sometimes, and many times, in fulfilling the Hana and fulfilling the work of ho'oponopono, that means that we've got to go all the way back to the moment that we were born, when we were pure and innocent, and our light was shining the brightest and the clearest. So taking us back through and moving through our experiences, the circumstances of our lives, rectifying and freeing and clearing the relationships that we have to all of the members of our ohana, and doing the work that we need to on a spiritual, mental, and physical basis to make that alignment once again free and clear. To set into place, right? Once again, pono, right? Pono is about everything being in its rightful place. It's righteousness. And doing the work in ho'oponopono, the Hana in ho'oponopono, to set into place all of the facets of our being where they rightfully belong. In the directness of our ancestors, and in the teachings and the spirituality that our ancestors have to share with us, alignment is very simple. And when we speak about it in terms of the alignment being the spirit, the mind, and the body, anytime any one of those components is out of alignment, then there is no alignment. And any time that any one of those components is out of alignment, then it speaks to us of the Hana, of the work that we need to do to bring it back into alignment. And then Hana also speaks to us of the work that we need to do in all areas and facets of our life, so that we don't step off or step out of that alignment again as we move into our futures. And the last and final component that I'd like to share about this great work that we speak of, this Hana in the process of ho'oponopono, deals with the present and the past and the future, and bringing into alignment those three components. And what we're capable of doing in ho'oponopono is, in the present, forgive, so that we can forget the hurt, the pain, the fear, the anger, the hatred of our past, so that as we move into our future, we're able to remember the fullness and the wholeness of the light that we were born with, and the connection that we have to our ancestors, our guardians, and to the higher power or powers that we know and believe to be in existence. So thank you once again. Mahalo for being here. We've been on this journey with one another for some time now, and I appreciate each of your presence and the opportunity to share. Mahalo.